Welcome back to Profit Isn't an Accident. I'm Shannon Howard. I'm the founder of Denali Edge Consulting, where we help contractors and service-based business owners just like you keep more of what they earn, stress less, and build businesses that actually support their families. Today, I want to talk about something that almost nobody pays attention to until it's too late. The expenses that are quietly draining your business. And here's the funny thing. Most business owners don't think they have an expense problem. They think they have a revenue problem. They think if I could just get a few more customers, if I could just book a few more jobs, if I could just get another truck on the road, then everything would be fine. But what if I told you that the money that you're looking for might already be inside your business? What if the problem isn't that you need more revenue? What if the problem is that too much of your profit is leaking out the back door? So let's talk about it. Most business owners I talk to are busy. They're booked out, they've got a great reputation, they're doing everything right. But when they actually sit down and look at their numbers, something doesn't quite add up. The profit doesn't match the effort, and it's usually not a sales problem. It's a visibility problem. I'm Shannon Howard. I work with HVAC owners, electricians, plumbers, and contractors to uncover hidden profit, fix those leaks, and help you keep more of what you earn. This is Profit Isn't an Accident. I want you to imagine that you're sitting in a boat. You're taking on water. And it's not because there's one giant hole, but because there's dozens of tiny little leaks. And one drip doesn't seem like a big deal. Neither does the second. Neither does the third. But eventually, those tiny leaks sink the boat. And that's exactly how most profit problems happen. Nobody wakes up one day and discovers a single expense costing them $100,000 a year. It's a subscription here, a software there, a little waste, a little overtime, a little inefficiency, a little underpricing, a little inventory loss, a little rework. And before you know it, you've got tens of thousands of dollars disappearing every year. I was talking with a business owner recently who was convinced he just needed more customers. That was his answer. More customers, more leads, more sales. When we actually dug into his numbers, we found over $30,000 in unnecessary expenses and inefficiencies. $30,000 already sitting inside his business. No new customers required. And that's why I always tell people, yes, revenue is important, but finding hidden profit is often faster. So one of the biggest dangers in business is familiarity. You stop seeing things. Think about your house. You walk past the same scratch on the wall every single day. Eventually, you don't even notice it. Business works the same way. You stop noticing those expenses because they've just become normal. Every month you have software that renews, you have subscriptions, you have membership renewals, your services renew, and nobody asks, hey, do we still need this? And you'd be amazed how many businesses are paying for things that nobody even uses anymore. And then there's labor. This is a big one. And it's not because employees are bad, but because inefficiency is so expensive. So think about it. If an employee wastes 30 minutes a day, that doesn't sound like much. But multiply that by your team of 5 employees. Then multiply that by a year. Now suddenly you're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars. And again, most profit leaks, they're not dramatic. They're really boring. And that's exactly why they're dangerous. Nobody gets excited about fixing a small leak until they realize how much money it's costing them. So let's talk about a few hidden profit killers. First, discounting. I see this all the time. Someone asks for a discount, the owner says yes, no big deal, right? Except every discount comes directly out of profit, not revenue. It comes out of profit. Second, unbilled work, and this one hurts. You do a little extra, you help your customer out, you throw something in, maybe you stay an extra hour, and you never invoice for it. Now multiply that over an entire year. Third, we're going to talk about poor purchasing habits because we all have them, whether at home or at work. There's no systems, there's no vendor comparisons, there's no accountability, there's no review process. You're just buying things because that's how it's always been done. Fourth, emergency spending. This is what happens when we operate reactively. We pay more because we waited. We rush order parts, we hire in a panic, we solve problems with money instead of planning. Every emergency costs us extra. And the final one is owner blindness. And this isn't meant to be an insult. It's just reality. Most owners are so busy running the business, they never stop, sit back, and actually examine it. They're moving so fast that they never even ask, where is the money actually going? And if you don't ask that question regularly, the leaks continue. Now, here's the good news. Most of these leaks, they're fixable. In fact, they're usually easier to fix than finding new customers. The first step is visibility. You can't fix what you can't see. So I want to challenge you. This week, pull up your expenses. Actually take a look at them. And I'm not talking your bank balance. I'm talking your expenses. I want you to ask yourself, what am I paying for that no longer even serves the business? Where am I tolerating inefficiency? Where am I giving away work? Where am I spending money because I don't have a process? And most importantly, what would happen if I recovered just 5% of that profit? Because here's what I know. Most business owners, they don't need a miracle. They just need visibility. They need clarity. They need someone willing to ask the questions that they're too busy to ask themselves. So remember, revenue feeds your ego, but profit feeds your family. And sometimes the fastest way to increase profit isn't earning more. It's stopping the leaks. So if today's episode got you thinking about your own business, I'd encourage you to take a closer look at where your money is actually going. And if you'd like help identifying those hidden profit leaks, head over to denaliedgeconsulting.com and schedule a free profit acceleration session. We'll help you uncover what's working. We'll help you show you what's not and where your biggest opportunities are hiding. So thanks for spending a few minutes with me today. And until next time, keep more, stress less, and remember, my friend, profit isn't an accident. If this hit, there is a reason. Most businesses aren't broken. They just don't have clear visibility into where the money's actually going. So if you want help finding it, grab my free Profit Edge playbook or book a quick session with me. You'll find everything in the show notes. And if you haven't already, follow the show so you don't miss what's next.